Block busting on the regular.
Hey, man, get your oh, man. Man, fuck you to man, get your meatball.
The death of King Von on the 6th of November 2020 sent shockwaves across the music industry. The Chicago rapper died barely a week after the release of his album. After his death, there have been many rumors and theories about the real reason of Von's death. Keep watching to find out the real reason why King Von lost his life. Early life. King Von's original name is Davon Daquan Bennett. He was born in Chicago, Illinois on August 9, 1994, and this is why a large majority of his songs centered around life and events in the Windy City. King Von had a rough childhood. Unfortunately, just like most rappers, King Von's father was absent from his childhood, and he was raised by his mother, Taisha. His father, Walter E. Bennett, had various run-ins with the law, and he was incarcerated various times. And as a result, Von's father was always in and out of his life. Von's father's street name was Ada Park Silk, and he was shot and killed when King Von was just 11 years old. Although he never got to spend enough time with his father, Von loved his father and paid tribute to him on various songs, and most notably in the song Exposing Me, on which he rapped "Rest in peace to Silk from Ada Park." That was the older me. 5 years later, after his father was killed, Von was arrested and went to jail for the first time. This would mark the beginning of Von's numerous legal battles. King Von was arrested again on the 21st of November 2012. He was arrested by the Chicago police for unlawful possession of a firearm and booked into the Cook County Jail. Gang affiliation. Chicago is considered the most gang-inundated city in the United States. The city has over 100,000 active gang members and over 50 different factions. Chicago's gang culture is responsible for its high rates of killings and other violent crimes. For many of Chicago's gangs, they're traditional and generational, and almost every block has its own gang. This is also why gang retaliation and warfare is very common in Chicago. For many families, the grandfather was a gang member, the father a gang member, and the young kid will almost certainly be a gang member. And this was the story of King Von. King Von was a member of the O Block gang. The O Block is the block King Von grew up on. The O Block gang are a faction of Chicago's Black Disciples street gang. In recent times, the O Block has become the most dangerous block in Chicago. This block, which was once home to Michelle Obama, is the 6400 block of South Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. The block is notorious for gang violence and killings, and this was well revealed in blood-drenched lyrics of King Von, Lil Durk, Chief Keef, and other Chicago rappers. Some notable members of the Black Disciples gangs are Chief Keef, Fredo Santana, Lil Reese, L.A. Capone, Lil Durk, and King Von. A large percentage of King Von's songs told stories about O Block and his time as a gang member. His 16-track debut album, Welcome to the O Block, was also named after the block. The O Block gang is a faction of Chicago's Black Disciples street gang. The gang was founded by David Barksdale in 1966. Barksdale died in 1974, and his death led to problems within the gang and led to the creation of various factions. The Black Disciples gang are notorious for criminal activities such as arms trafficking, illegal gambling, money laundering, theft, robbery, murder, burglary, racketeering, drug trafficking, and extortion. Activities like this were the reason why King Von was arrested on various occasions. King Von was also accused of a shooting that killed one and wounded another in 2014. After a trial by a jury, Von was eventually acquitted, and it was after this incident that fellow Chicago rapper and longtime friend Lil Durk convinced Von to become a rapper. Durk had heard some of King Von's early songs and was convinced of his talent. King Von became an active rapper in 2018. Career. King Von became an active rapper in 2018 after he signed with his friend Lil Durk's Only the Family Entertainment label. However, he had started rapping before he signed with Durk. Durk had heard some of Von's early tracks and took interest in his music. Together, the pair made songs such as Still Trappin', Evil Twin, and Von established himself as one of the best new drill rappers from Chicago. After he was signed, King Von moved to Atlanta to further his career. Von released singles such as Problem, which was fairly successful, but it was another single titled Crazy Story that put the young rapper on the map. Von told a captivating story about his time as a gang member, a story of a robbery that turned into a shootout. Not many drill rappers are storytellers, and this is one of the skills that make Von stand out. Similar to artists like Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Von is a good storyteller. His songs like Still Trappin', Down Me, were quite successful on the charts, while Crazy Story 2.0, on which he featured Lil Durk, peaked at number 4 position on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Von released his debut album on the 30th of October 2020, but barely a week later, Von was shot at a nightclub. Death. A week after releasing his debut album, Welcome to O Block, King Von was shot after his album release party outside a nightclub in Atlanta. Von and his crew got into an altercation with Savannah rapper Quando Rondo and his crew outside the club. The altercation, which happened outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, quickly escalated into a deadly shootout between both groups of men. In an attempt to intervene and stop the fight, one of 2 off-duty uniformed police officers who were working at the club and an on-duty cop patrolling nearby opened fire. The Atlanta police have since confirmed that the police were not responsible for any of the killings. King Von was shot by Lal Tim, one of Rondo's friends. Lal Tim's real name is Timothy Leaks, and just like Rondo, he's from Savannah, where he attended Jenkins High School and played varsity football. Leaks was also injured in the shooting and has since been arrested, but was released in March this year after posting the $100,000 bond required for his bail. Now, fans are speculating that there might be 2 real reasons for King Von's death other than just a random shooting outside the nightclub: his beef with Quando Rondo or another killing between rival gangs. Beef with Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo is a rapper signed to Youngboy Never Broke Again's NBA Records. He was raised in Savannah, Georgia, and Quando showed interest in music as a child. During his days as a teenager, Quando spent considerable time in juvenile detention centers. After he was released from one of such centers in October 2017, Quando decided to chase his dream and pursue music full-time. Just like Von, Quando Rondo is a rapney 18. Quando grew up listening to artists such as Collective Soul, Father Slim, and ironically King Von's lifelong friend, Chief Keef. Rondo released his first mixtape in 2018 titled Life Before Fame. Life Before Fame is a 14-track mixtape that had songs with guest verses from other rappers such as Lil Baby, OMB Peasy, and King Von's label boss Lil Durk. Life Before Fame was released in April 2018, and in June 2018, Rondo released another single. In September, Rondo released another mixtape titled Life After Fame. This was a sequel to his first mixtape, and it had 13 tracks. Some of the artists featured on this mixtape were Rich Homie Quan and his label boss Youngboy Never Broke Again. Now, the fact that Quando has shown that he admires one of Von's lifelong friends, Chief Keef, and that he collaborated with Von's mentor, Durk, will make you think that both rappers will be on cordial terms, but that's not the case. According to various fan speculations and theory, Von and Rondo's beef is a result of the fact that fans think King Von had a beef with Rondo's mentor, Youngboy NBA. This rumored beef between Youngboy NBA and Von started after Von posted pictures of him hanging out with Youngboy's ex-girlfriend, Janaya. Although Von claimed that they were just making music together and not getting intimate, this incident ignited the drama between the two rappers. Another fan theory speculates that after this incident, Youngboy dissed King Von on his song Dead Trolls with the line, "Pussy nigga drove that he can't get no feature." In an interview with media personality DJ Academics, Von stated this about the alleged beef: "Ain't no rap beef and ain't no real beef unless somebody got shot or something." Now, some fans think that Rondo and his crew took this as Von dissing Youngboy or as a challenge since Von talked about shooting. Many fans believe that this interview was one of the major reasons behind the shooting outside the nightclub, while others believe that this might be as a result of gang affiliations. Gang violence. Now, we all know that King Von was a member of the O Block gang, which is a faction of the Black Disciples gang. Most people don't even know him as a member of the O Block, they only know him as a member of the Black Disciples. On the other hand, Quando Rondo has been seen wearing blue on various occasions, signifying that he's a member of the LA gang, the Crips. Although Quando Rondo has always sat on the fence when asked if he's a member of the Crips, his association with members of the gang has made fans speculate that he is indeed a member of the gang. Rondo was seen celebrating the release of Lil Tim alongside other Crip members on social media and even went as far as referring to Lil Tim as a god. Rondo is also friends with Eugene Henley, who is popularly known as Big U and also one of the biggest and most popular members of the Crips gang. Fans have been speculating that what if the real reason that Lil Tim shot King Von is also because of their gang rivalry. While Lil Tim and Rondo are supposedly members of the Crips gang, King Von is a member of the Black Disciples. The Black Disciples are not allies with the Crips and are rivals of the Gangster Disciples. This is why a large section of fans think that the killing of King Von was just another act of gang violence and killings. Fallout. Since Von's death, other members of his camp, or the Get Back Gang, which is another name that Von and some of his label mates call themselves, have threatened to live up to their name by getting back at Rondo and Lil Tim. As a result, Quando Rondo has had to cancel some of his shows due to security concerns, as notable members of the Get Back Gang such as Lil Reese have continued to insist that they will get revenge. On the other hand, Rondo has made a song titled End of Story in which he gives his account of the shootout. He states that Von was the one who attacked him and that he never hid from Von and his crew. He's also continued to back Lil Tim in all his interviews and posts on social media while sticking to his claims that he and his crew were only defending themselves. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new content.